Okay, race number 6 is over 1,000 meters. It's a merit-rated 78 handicap, and this will be at 15:20, 20 past 3. And there's some speedsters in this race. This is going to be a hot race. You've got horses that are dropping in the rating, horses that are in very good form. Some of them love the course. And a certain horse that I like here, Warren, that I can't give you much confidence to have a full go, but I'm suggesting is a horse to follow on his last start, and that's Alfonso Spigoni, a very good second, short heads all the way to the line. Was involved in a photo finish that day with Bernie's Dream. He's got Keegan DeMello up, and we know Keegan has a very healthy strike rate with Mark Dixon carrying 54.5 kgs. His course and distance record is good as well. And whilst a few of these runners have him held, Warren, on form, I'm expecting that the weight turnaround could certainly help him turn the form around. So I'm leaning slightly towards number 9, Alfonso Spigoni. My second choice is number 7, Kings Road. Loves the province. All 3 of his wins have been in KZN. So Clinton Benda has just timed it down to a T when he travels his horse. He's engaged Gabriel Peterson, claiming 4, so 58 on the back now. My third choice will be Prince Crest. I'll give you the comment from Garrett Van Zyl. He says, my horse is in a good space, and I'm expecting him to put in a very bold showing on Sunday. He's doing well. And add to that, Warren, that the horse was just too high in the ratings. It was a 93 after his 2-year-old career. He's slightly dropping. He's now off an 85. Anton up, as we mentioned, when we began the show, on the strike rate with Garrett. And of course, he's got 6 rides for the stable on the day. And then horse number 6, Blaze of Silk, who loves the course. A course and distance specialist. And Corinne Bastel is engaged. Dennis Schwartz here. That's going to be my top 4, Warren. 9, 7, 3, and 6. And now the floor is yours.
Yeah, those are good numbers, D's, 9, 7, 3, 6. And just talking about Alfonso Spigoni, I thought he was desperately unlucky last time. He had to switch twice, and he just didn't get there. Bernie's Dream seems to be a very nice horse. We often talk about jockeys and trainers that are in form. Well, the Kinmount Racing Syndicate and the Carlisles, their horses are running well that they have with Mark Dixon. They're always in the money. They're in the winners' enclosure. So he has a set of owners that are bang in form as well. So Alfonso Spigoni, yes, you're quite right, certainly sets the standard. A question for you, number 1, Storm Chaser. Is he possibly flattered by the margin that he won his maiden by? Hard to assess, I find.
Well, there haven't been many runners to come out of that form line. 5 runners. The best to come out was a third, a horse called What a Rider from the Dean Kannemeyer stable. And now that he's won so well over 1,400 meters, and the pace and the speed that he showed, and he just kept running all the way to the line, I'm not saying it's strange, but Lausanne has opted to go to the minimum trip now. It's 5 furlongs. So after winning a 1,400 in the fashion that he did, now to a 5 furlong. If he shows the same pace and speed in the race, he could well have a chance. But he's now taking on horses that are specialists over this distance.
Yes.
He's not going to, over 1,400 meters, you go to the front. Stamina will certainly kick in after 1,200 meters. You now have to time it, and you're going to have to run flat out 5 furlongs because there's some speedsters in the race. But we have to respect Lausanne. The results speak for itself, the way her stable's going. She would have had a plan. You don't just race horses, because races come up for them.
Yes.
You'd have a discussion with the owner, with the jockey. You have your assessment as well. And sometimes they even engage, breeders with pedigrees, to find out what distances to go. So there's lots of planning in choosing a race for a horse. You don't just wake up and say, I'm running the horse in this race. So with this horse running over 5 furlongs, I think you're well spotted with that, because I put a big question mark around this horse. So it'll be really nice, if I'm working on Sunday, and if I can have a chat to maybe Serena or Lausanne, I'll certainly pass over the comments about this horse going 1,000 meters.
Before we wrap, because I quite like Deeze's numbers, I'm not going to argue with him here. 9, 7, 3 and 6, and Alfonso Spigoni certainly looks to set the standard and looks to be the one they all have to beat. But before we wrap, there's just one that I want to add, and I'd ask you to possibly include in your trifectas and quartets, and you might think I'm completely balmy, but that's fine. 4 Pacific Winter is my lurker. For a bit of value, the penultimate start at Hollywood Bet Scottsville, over the 1,000, ran third, 2.5 lengths to light that loose, showed good pace. He's got pace, this horse, and I've had a word with Tinny Princeton on many occasions, and his owner, Ron Harris, as well. And they've been expecting good things from this horse, Pacific Winter, and he's been a little disappointing. His form's been a bit patchy, but he does show pace. And for me, if he reproduces that penultimate start, he's been running third to light that loose. If he had to run third or fourth again, I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, I remember working with you when you actually mentioned, I think it was one of his initial runs when he came down to the stable from Ashley Fortune, and you did an interview at Ashburton, and Tinny mentioned that he's a horse that could even go into feature races, if I'm not mistaken, and that always at the back of my mind when you have a horse like this. So
Bleeder,
yeah.
Unfortunately, you can see
Correct.
Bleeder.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
this unfortunate part.
Trifectas and quartets, I think you could be on the mark.
Okay, but Deez and I, we're in the camp of Kinmount Racing's horse number 9, Alfonso Spigoni.